Hello. Welcome to today's stream. Because the lovely Lil's journaling. And yeah, for today's stream, we got a couple things planned. We're going to do a small stationery haul, and then we're going to just do some coloring for funsies. Coloring and chatting. If you guys haven't already, don't forget to follow me on Instagram for more bullet journaling updates and just kind of like, it's a little bit more than what you'll get here on stream. And maybe you'll see completed or full spreads that you don't get here. And then you can also watch my old streams and the rest of them on YouTube, but the ones here on Twitch don't stay for too long. I'll work on fixing that, but the rest of them will be on YouTube. And yeah, and then one more fun announcement. My streams are every Saturday at 2 p.m., but next Saturday, July 23rd, is my wedding anniversary, so I will not be streaming that week, but I will be streaming the week following, so just so you know. So, let's get right into it. Okay. So first things first, I didn't get this, but from the stationery haul, but it does have my swatches in it. Because I already kind of did some of the swatches for the stationery haul, because I got this on I think Tuesday. So I did some swatches and some prep for Instagram, so those have already been done. And you'll see the full stationery haul on Instagram. I'll just show you some of the stuff I got here. So first things first, I got these lovely, super thin sticky note tabs. And I really wanted these for a while, and so glad I got them. By the way, everything that I will be showing is from Daiso, and this was gotten at the San Francisco Daiso stationery shop. I had a family member go there, and she brought me some goodies back. So, back to the haul. These are just paper thin sticky tabs, and I have 2 used right here. As you can see, they cover the words. You can kind of see the words underneath, which is great. And so I'll be using these more for, I want to start annotating books, so I'm going to be using these for this and act them as highlighters, because I don't like writing in books, but I also want to mark my favorite quotes and stuff, so that's what these will be used for. So yeah. We also got, one of them is in use in a book that I am currently reading, but these are magnetic bookmarks, so they can just pop off, no magnets, and they can close around the page, and they don't hurt it too much because they're very light, not too powerful magnets, but they're powerful enough to kind of stay through this cardboardish. And they're just little cats, so that's really cute. And these cats that are on these lovely magnets also go with some of the stickers I got. This is a matching sticker pack. There are 2 pages like this, but you just get all these kitties, and they match these ones. There's the brand. That's the name of it. Most of it was in Japanese, so I don't know the names of everything. But yeah, and they're all really cute and stuff. So that's them. Some other stickers that I got was this lovely kind of country time, I would describe it as, summery vibe. So it's got lemons and pineapples and kiwi, avocado, some star fruit, and I really like these 2 mason jars, because I drink out of mason jars all the time and stuff. We also got another sticker sheet, and it's just a bunch of cute bubbles and circles and stuff, so this will be good decoration to a couple pages. And if you guys see any stationery, I'm going to use some of the stationery in my end of stream journaling prompt, so if there's any of the stationery you see that you want me to use in the prompt in my journal, type it in chat as we go. Next, these are 2, I got this type of, it's a Ziploc bag, and then I also got this little one, and this one has some, whatever they're called, paper clips of sorts, and then binder clips, that's what they are. This one has the binder clips I also got from Daiso. But yeah, I got these cute little bags. I know in some of them I'll be putting clips, or my stamp collection in, or maybe even stickers, but I am excited to use those. Next, we got some origami paper. So this first one, they can be used to make these lovely desserts, which I am very excited to do because I do want to make all these desserts and I think they'll look super cute. So I love that. Then we got this very shiny one, and I'll find a lovely use for that. Maybe I'll pick up on some origami. And then this one's just like these cute basic designs of patterns and stuff, so I really like these patterns. Very formal looking. But yeah, I got these as well. And then I got two new notebooks. So this one is just kind of a blank notebook. I haven't decided a use for it, so I'll just kind of go in my empty notebook pile, but it's like a sketchbook. I kind of like it. This notebook I have dedicated to a tester journal. That's what this notebook's purpose was, but I finished it and filled it essentially. So this will be my new tester journal. And this one, it's got some distinct lines, but within those lines there's like 2 more dotted lines inside of them. Kind of like, it doesn't show it on the cover, but I'll just zoom in as best I can. So there's like 2 more dotted lines within it, and then going down there's a bunch of lines as well. So it's kind of grid. It does have a slight grid while also being lined paper. So I kind of like it. I think it'll work well as a tester journal. Yeah. And I am excited to find a purpose for those. I love getting new notebooks, and I especially like that these ones are, they're, what is it, like craft paper colored or whatever. They're like nice and tan, and I like that just cardboardy look because they're so much fun to decorate and like take my Sharpies and just color all over them. So I really like them. Next on the stationery haul, we got some lovely markers. I would say these are very similar to the mild liner pens, markers and stuff, just in the way they write and the way they look. Right here I have all these colors used. So I have red, gray, blue, green, and yellow. They write really well. They work as highlighters. They're very nice and thin. The only issue I would say I have with these so far, because I've tested them a bit on this lovely page, I use them a lot, and if you look very closely on any of these, you'll notice lots of thicker dots in the corner, and you can see exactly where my lines ended and stuff. So I'm not the biggest fan of like the blotch of ink at the end of any line you do, because it makes all these random dots on your drawing. So I may just use these as highlighters or just some light coloring with them, but they're still cute. I like them. A more inky mild liner, that's what I would call them. Next, we have 2 more lovely highlighters. Now these ones are Beetle Tip Dual Color Soft Color. Wow, lots of the color words. But basically, they're highlighters, but they have 2 colors each. So this one, when you open it, it has a pink and yellow. So depending on how you angle your pen, you could get the pink or the yellow. And if you write it straight on, you can get both tips. So I kind of like this. It's 2 highlighters in one, so if you don't want to like fill your pencil case with too many items, you can totally use this. And then you can also color code without having too many markers in your pencil case. And then this one, I like this one the most because these are very pretty colors in my mind. This one has a green and a purple, and both of these, all of these colors are very light and pastel-y, which I like because then they're easy to write. You can see pen markings underneath if you use them for highlighting, and I just like pretty pastel, so that's what these are. Really cute. I love them already. And then this one, I used it right up here, so there are these 3 lines, and This is a multicolored, tricolored Smeens pen. I think that's what it's saying, ours. Yeah, Smeens. It's a scented pen, that's what it is. So this one has the orange flavor. So I'm going to get the top off. Top's a little difficult to get off. So take this pen. It does smell very orangey, which is kind of cool. So nice snippy pen. But I keep it in its lovely container because I don't want its smell to like dissipate too quickly. But it has a nice black, a blue, and a red setting. And I like that it's a sniffy pen. This is more one of my fun pens. The thing is, like, when it comes to pens in my collection, I have the pens I use the most, which are the really nice ones. And then I have pens that I don't use too much, but they're really cute and fun. Like this one, like it smells great, and it writes. This one has actually like a pretty good writing tip compared to other pens, but I don't know. This is just kind of in that middle ground of like it has a good writing tip, but it's also like a smelly one, and it's, I don't know. It's just a fun one that I probably won't use as much, but I'll still use it and such. So really cute there and such. Now, next we have, let's go to washi tape. So these are the main washi tapes I got. They're this like metallic kind of, it looks like, you know, like the Netflix logo, when it like kind of goes through and it looks like a little bit like a bunch of plasticky strings, or those you'll find at parties. That's what it kind of looks like, a bunch of plasticky strings like stuck together, but they're not. They just have that like texture look to them. And one thing I really like about these is I have a lot of sparkly washi tape. I just don't use it because they're not as sticky as normal washi tape. They're not always the best quality and stuff, but these ones, they stick really well. They don't, when they do, like when you pull it off, they don't pull up the washi tape underneath it sparkle, because I've had some washi tapes that like you unravel it and stuck on the tape already is the design from the tape beneath it, and I'm like, great, that's pointless now. So this one doesn't do that. It sticks really well. I really like them, and they're pretty colors. Like, it's a good color palette, so I really like these a lot. I might use it in today's journaling session. You guys let me know if you want me to. Next, these are kind of my favorite, and it is these 4 things. So this is a cute, it came in the tape dispenser, and these have the feeling of, what's it called? They feel just the same as like sticky notes and stuff, just like the basic yellow sticky notes, not any fancy kinds and stuff, but they're washi tapes. Like, they actually stick on. Like, I didn't have to glue them. They stick really well. They're kind of hard to get up, like if I tried. It's possible, but they don't peel up on the edges. They're nice. Like, they come in the tape dispenser, so I can just pop them off, and once this tape dispenser's done, I'll probably replace them with more washis in here. But I really like it. You can write on them and stuff. Like, these are really cute. This would have been really helpful for that, I forget which month it was, but I did have a spread that kind of used a bunch of sticky notes in it, so this would have been perfect for that. But that's okay. I do like this a lot. And then finally, we have this little guy. Now, the tape he is holding did not come with him. This is just a washi tape that I had. But it's a little cat that's a tape dispenser, and it's so cute. You see that little cat? You like pop his head open, if I can. Usually the head just pops open, and that's how you get the tape out. And then there's a little thing back here that can hold the washi tape in place. And he's got plenty of room, so if you got thicker or bigger washi tape, not like thicker, but like tape that has more rolls on it, he can fit it. So I really like that. This is my good sir, my best friend now. He'll be holding my washi tape. And the washi tape I just put in here is just one that I may use a lot, so yeah. Okay. Next, we have this lovely item. And this is a stapler that doesn't require staples, and it is my favorite, so I will show you guys how it works. Take these 2 pages. Just push it in. Now we take a nice zoom in. So it's just, I don't know how it's done it, but it's like made this hole and folded it underneath on this side. And you go to the other side and it's like, you can see it folded underneath and through, and it just looks so cool. So it's like, it's great for the environment because I won't need to buy a stapler that'll break super easily, and like buy reusables and stuff and all that jazz. So this is really cool, and my husband also really liked this one. He thought it was absolutely magical when I did it for him. So yeah. Now, these are all the items I got in my stationery haul. I got a couple more stickers, and I have a couple more pens, as you can see on this page. I've already like reorganized them into my stationery, because I may have also reorganized my stationery the day I got all of this. And so they're kind of mismatched and out of their containers already and put in place. So the full stationery haul, and you'll be able to see everything in its container, so you can kind of see the brand or what it's called. So if you do want to buy it, you can go to Daiso and look for it there and stuff. So that will be all on Instagram, and I will put a link for that in the chat for you guys, so you guys can follow me there if you want to see that. The full stationery haul. So yeah, that's that stationery haul. I hope you guys liked it. I'm excited to use all this stuff. I hope you guys have the deep love of stationery as much as I do, because I'm a little obsessed, just a little. Just wait till you see my stationery. It'll be great. Okay, now on to today's activity. We'll be coloring. This coloring page I got off Archer and Olive on their coloring page set. I forget which one this was a part of, but I like using their coloring pages because they're really cute. And I was gonna do like my own kind of design today, but that didn't work out as planned, so this is what we're going with. And today's color palette is gonna be with my King Art brush dual tip brush pens, because they are markers. They're my favorite. And this will be the lovely color palette. It's like a purpley, a light bluish purple, this pinkish purple, and this tealish green, or yeah, teal, pretty sure. But yeah, feel free to color along if you want, or if you're just like bullet journaling yourself, cool, or if background is cool as well. But yeah. And don't forget, if you guys did like any of the stationery hauled, and you want to see me use it in my journaling prompt at the end of the stream, type it in the chat now, and I'll try to incorporate that in there. But today's just going to be a chill stream. And if you guys have any questions about anything I post on Instagram, or anything bullet journaling related you want to talk about, go ahead and post that in chat as well. I'd love to talk to y'all. Ooh, okay. Story time, guys. I don't know if any of you go to Sonic, or if there's even one near you, or you know what I'm talking about. Sonic is a fast food place here in America. It is, it's decent fast food, I would say. Either way, Sonic, near where we live, and I think across America, they have a new toy for the kids' toys, which are mini brands. And if you don't know what mini brands are, they're basically like this toy company, and they just produce miniature versions of name brand products. They started off with food, they got into some toys and some fashionable items, and now Sonic has their own line of mini brands, which is adorable. My husband, knowing my love of mini brands, and after he learned this, because he kind of works at Sonic, he and 3 of his coworkers decided to buy a whole box of them, which was like $40, so $10 each. And so he brought me, like, it felt like 50 mini brand containers home that would have gone into kids' toys. And the main thing is he wanted a complete set, so because it has like the main items that you can get, which is like hash brown, it's like their tots, their chili cheese, like a roller skate. Here's the roller skate. I have them with me. And stuff like that, and like some of the drinks and a Sonic tray. So it has all that. And so and then it also has like some gold version, some glow in the dark, a sparkly version, and different types of rarity depending on the item and how, like, what version it was. Haha, I forgot the middle D. But so he got a bunch of those. We have enough. He got enough that we got a complete set. And with each like toy item, there's also a little bag, and in the little bag is a scratch and sniff, like little mint thingy, which I thought is really cute. And so he got us all that, and now we have all these extras, and he's like, he doesn't know what to do with them, so I was like, okay, I will start playing around with them. I think I'll like look on the mini brand side of Instagram or TikTok and see if people are like, I'm missing this one or that one, so I can send it their way. But we have a couple, and with some of the extras, I have put them to use in a great way. So first things first is I have this roll of magnets that you can like cut up, like it's kind of like washi tape but magnets, and so one side is sticky and it has like a paper on it so they don't all stick together, but it's a mini magnet and stuff, and so you can cut it to like certain lengths that you need. So I stuck it on some of them, like the hash browns and hot dogs, so I can put them on our fridge because I'm cute like that. So we have little, now hash browns, they're not hash browns, they're tater tots. We have little tater tot, Sonic tater tots on our fridge and stuff like that. So that's one of the things I did with them. And then the other thing I did with them is what did I do? I took the little bags. One I stuck to on our fridge and put a tiny pen in it so we could like read on our shopping list that's there. So like if we need a pen for a shopping list, Alan doesn't have to like look for them and then accidentally grab one of the pens that I do not want him to use on the shopping list, because I live in fear that Don's like, oh, I need a pen, and he'll just take one of my special pens, and I will be frustrated a little bit because I will fear it'll get lost or something. I don't think he will personally like do that on purpose. Like usually he asks me, or he has some of his own pens and stuff, but I have that slave fear because I have had it happen when I was younger and I had a pen collection. My mom would just come and be like, hey, I need a pen, and I'm like, no, that's my good one, and I know I'm not gonna get it back. It was a little frustrating, but it's okay. I lived. But at that moment I wasn't. But anyway, so I made one into a little pocket, and then I'm also going to use the rest of the bags to make as pockets in my bullet journals or journals if I need it. And that type of thing. One thing is I painted some of them like black already and used metallic markers to kind of write on them and decorate them. And so right now they're little day ideas pockets, and I'm going to show you because they are right here. This one. So here it is. It's a tiny little bag. I got my pin in it still, but it's just a little bag. I put little dates ideas in here. It was a little Sonic bag, but yeah. So I just have those up for my husband and I to kind of put date ideas in them if we want and that type of thing. And so I'm just gonna give all those little bags uses and turn them into pockets for my bullet journal. My bullet journals, I have many. For those of you at last stream, you would know because I went through every single one. But yeah. So I do plan on using all these mini brands for something if I don't sell some of them. And then what I also want to do is I took, because one of the other things you can get is like a Sonic tray that has, it's like the tray in the middle and then the 4 cup holders on each corner. And so I'm taking one of those and turning it into one of my paint palettes so that when I do paint, I can just squirt paint onto that and stuff. I don't paint a lot, but if I do paint, it's mostly like me painting specific objects to turn into something else. So yeah. I do not paint, but I like brush tip pens or markers. They're so nice. Because I can do like all the variety of thicknesses with it. Like I can write with like the tip, or I can like do a nice thick stroke. They're my favorite. I don't know what I'll do when I start running out of these. I'll probably buy more. But I don't know if I'll be able to buy a lot right away. We'll see. That looks good so far. Now let's do some flowers. Make them look all cute. Now, although I've never showed the cat on stream, I did talk about her the last couple streams. I was cat sitting. It was amazing. And now she is gone. And I miss her so much because I was so used to like having the cat there or having to worry about like, oh, locking her in the back room if I was leaving or making sure my husband like was holding her so she didn't bolt when I entered the house. And I just got so used to like having her there, used to her zoomies, or just having her as a buddy in the house at all times. And now that she's gone, I am very sad. And whenever my husband and I find something of hers left behind, like we were sweeping the floors and we found some cat food, and we're just like, oh, we miss her. So, or I would have a habit of looking towards where her bed is, just to like check in on her and stuff. And her bed's not there, and I'm like, oh, I miss her so much. And it just hurts me. It's a little heartbreaking. It just kind of gets me. And all that jazz. So, I miss her a lot. I wish I still had her here. And all that jazz. On the bright side, though, my husband will probably be more inclined to get a cat first before we get a dog. And I am very excited about that. Are you guys cat people or dog people? Like, what's your preference? I'm a cat person. When I was younger, I did not have the best experiences with dogs. So I'm a little hesitant around them at first. But like, cats I'm chill with. I'm chill with cats. I'd love to hang out with them and cuddle them. I had my roommate, before I got married, some of my roommates had cats. So that was fun, and it was always great to hang out with them and have them nearby. And so I have grown to love cats. And like, it's not like I'm completely like against dogs, like they attacked me and now I can't be near them. Like, I'm totally fine. And like, I've had some dogs spook me where they weren't necessarily attacking me, but they were chasing me, and I was very small, and I was like, this is terrifying. That was more of the case when it comes to my fear. But over time, like, if I get used to your dog, I'll be okay. Like, they won't bother me for long. But cats, like, I was older when I was more exposed to cats, so I'm like, oh, they're chill. They're fun. I like them. So, I'm getting used to dogs, but I'm still a cat person. I also really want I'm going to make my husband get us a bunch of pets. We're going to have a lot. Even if I'm allergic to dog and cat hair, we're going to have both of those. We're also going to have, what other type of pet did I want? A bunny. So, my dad, he always told me stories of when he was younger and how he would either have a pet bunny or he'd like capture them and stuff and take care of them. And so, I thought they're like, oh, okay, those are bunnies, chill. I don't know if I want them as pets. But then I hung out with my cousins who had pet bunnies, and they were adorable, and so I wanted bunnies like sons. On those topics of those bunnies, there's some wild stories, some sad stories with them, because they had these bunnies in Florida, and at one point they were forced to stay outside, so they kind of got out when they weren't supposed to. And it's Florida, so some gators got these poor, unfortunate bunnies, which is quite sad. Not all of them, but some of them. They had two. I think both of those two got lost to gators. Then they got three, and those three were named Thor, Odin, and Loki. And Odin got eaten by a bunny right around the time Ragnarok came out, so I thought that was kind of ironic and hilarious in its own way. And then Thor and Loki went missing, but we found both of them in time. But then poor unfortunate Loki got, my little cousin knocked him off a high countertop and got the bunny paralyzed from like the waist down, like his back legs. So that was a sad experience for that poor little bunny. But poor little bunny. And then they eventually just kind of couldn't take care of them as much anymore, so they gave them back to the vet and stuff. Because my cousin, she always wanted to be like a veterinarian and stuff, so she had all kinds of pets, and bunnies were one of them. But I also want a bunny. My dad currently has a bunny named Snowball, and she is adorable and cute. And he has an Instagram, so if you want to get quality bunny pictures, go to Instagram and search Princess of Willowdale, and you'll find her. She's a cute bunny. Really adorable. And then the other type of pet that I really want is, I've wanted this one the longest, despite my fear of creepy crawlies and stuff, is a bearded dragon. And then you're like, that's not creepy crawly, but you do have to like feed it bugs, so I'm like, not my favorite. But I do want a cute little bearded dragon to kind of hang out with, like just to like chill on my shoulder while I'm doing homework or something, or working on stuff. Like, that'd be so cool. I think that'd be amazing. And there was one time where my family and I, we were taking care of our friend's bearded dragon while they were out of town, which was kind of cool because he mostly ate salad, so I didn't have to worry too much about feeding bugs, and if I did, I made my little brother do it, so that was chill. And then he was like, it took a while to get used to holding him, but it was kind of nice. I liked him. He was fun. It was chill to have a bearded dragon. But that's the other type of pet that I want. And my Uncle Matt he had a bearded dragon for a long time. Now it was cool to like visit him and see the bearded dragon in its like cage and stuff. That was fun. Those are about all the pets that I would want at the moment. I don't think I would need or want anymore. And maybe when we do get these pets, we get them in like stages. So like, I think we're gonna get a cat or dog first to kind of practice before we have kids. And then after that, we may get like some other pets over time. that's our pet plan. Ooh, okay, so I mentioned earlier during my stationery haul that I was going to use those really thin sticky note tabs as like highlighters in a notebook, so in a book that I'll be annotating. So I haven't really annotated books ever. Crazy, right? Because I'm an English major and I should, totally. For sure. But I haven't. Usually when it came to annotating, at most I would maybe like put a sticky note on a page or like a sticky note tab on the side of a page if I wanted to like go back to a quote or something, but that was about it. I didn't do much else when it came to annotating. I mostly like would take notes either in a separate notebook or just like, I have a good enough memory. Annotating was not my thing. Because I didn't want to write in books. Like, they're so precious to me that I didn't want to ruin them and like fill their pages with stuff. So that like, if I ever gave this book to somebody else or I had to sell it, like, I don't want to give them a book that's like filled with stuff anyway. And they're my books, so like if I lent it to someone or I want to read it again, I don't want to be distracted by everything on the page. Or like, and not being able to remove it or anything. So that was my struggle for the longest time. I couldn't annotate, and a lot of my classes were like, you should. There was one class that I had during my winter semester here, this past one, where I wouldn't annotate, but I would put in sticky notes next to quotes. That's when I kind of started annotating in a very small way. I was like, okay, let's just throw in a couple sticky notes. It'll look good, it'll look nice. I can go back to these quotes that I like. And I only did this as well in books that I owned. So like all of my textbooks that I need, I usually buy them just because I want to own them, because one, I may use them later, or two, like they're good for teaching and stuff. Most of the time they were like classic literature books and stuff, or that type of thing. Or if they were like informational textbooks, I would still keep them because I'll need them as a teacher one day. But that's what I would do, is at most I would just put the sticky note tab in next to quotes. And that was about it. But as I've been kind of reaching the end of my teaching career, I have noticed that I do realize that like if I want to have as deep as discussions that I do have in my current English classes, for like when I'm teaching, I want to be able to connect with students, have these discussions, kind of know my books really well. I need to save the information that I gather on them. Like, so if I do like find a literary device being used, such as a simile, metaphor, whatever, or a symbol, themes, important things about characterization, I figure out that a character is a foil or whatever, I need to save that information so that when I teach it, I have that information still and I can make lesson plans around the books that I'm teaching. And so I'm so happy my aunt brought me those lovely little sticky note tabs. And then I also have my transparent sticky notes, which my father gave me as a gift when I started streaming. Thank you for that. And I also have just like some normal tabs that I could put on the side. And I was like, let's actually annotate a book and use it, like kind of start preparing a lesson or like how I would teach it. And so I have this highlighter sticky note tabs for quotes, and I'm using specifically like the blue ones just because my book is blue and it kind of makes sense. The book I'm annotating is called Indivisible, and it follows, it's a story about a kid whose parents are threatened with deportation and stuff. So that's the book I'm kind of annotating. And the reason I'm annotating this book is because one thing I want to talk about in my class is kind of looking at the point of view of others and stuff and that type of thing. So I'm kind of like, okay, here's a book that talks about deportation, and I can also talk about like, okay, like, yes, like we want people here to have papers and stuff, but sometimes people come here for a better option and they don't always get the opportunity to kind of fight for that option. And I can use this book as a way to kind of start a conversation with the students in hopefully a respectful manner. So that's what I'll be doing that for, using this book for. And so I got all my stuff, I've started annotating it. It's the first book that I'm like thinking about annotating it as I go and looking, being like, I always analyze books I read as like an English major, and I always have this small analysis in the back of my mind whenever I'm watching or reading something. Like if I'm watching a show and like they go back, like they have a flashback, and like, okay, how does this memory play out later? Who are these characters? Are they going to come back? I feel like they might come back because their death isn't for sure or whatever. I look for those things. Like there's a lot of times I'll be watching something with my husband and I'll just be like, oh, I know what's going to happen. And he's like, how? And I'm like, that's foreshadowing right there. And he's like, how do you know? It's like, because this happens in all these types of stories and stuff. So I have that with. So that's just kind of, but this book is like the first one that I'm like on my own, not for a class, that I'm like, I'm going to look and use the skills I've learned myself to kind of annotate it and learn from it and kind of prepare stuff with it. So I've been using the little stuff to highlight good quotes or important words that come up. I have my transparent sticky notes to kind of like make notes, and then I just have these like one colored tabs to just kind of put along the side so that I can mark where my sticky note, like where my highlights or notes are in my text, so that like I can go back to them and I don't have to flip through everything. So that's something I've done. And I've been enjoying the annotating process. I thought it was going to be like, oh, I have to annotate it, so it's going to be a struggle the whole time, and I'm going to kind of get distracted, or I may not be able to focus on the story, but I felt I've done pretty good. I've been able to like still focus on the story while also being like, okay, how does this matter? How will it affect it later? I've been like making notes of like long-term things that I think might go together. And a lot of it's just kind of been like, okay, show your thinking in the text, and then you can go back to this and be like, how does this make sense in the piece as a whole, and why does this matter? So I've had a good time with that. So that's what I've been doing as I'm reading. And at the same time, and I think next month I will do a stream where I work on this, is I am creating like a bullet journal to use as a teacher that kind of has like specific sections for books I've read, and has like stuff about the characters, the plot, any literary or rhetorical devices that I find in it. I think I also put maybe like discussion questions or essay questions that I can use, and then maybe I gotta add vocab words. I need to do that. I need to add vocab words to it. Let me make a note of that. do need vocabs, but just like an area to keep everything I need about that book, so that like if I do end up teaching it, I can be like, okay, here's the stuff that I already have about it, and then I can find more, and I can build my lessons around it. So that's what that's for. And I think probably not this month because I've already built the one for Indivisible, the current book I'm going through. I think next month I can, at the beginning of the month, I can like we can build it together of the pages I need and the setups I'll use. And then as I'm going through the month, through different streams, I can show you guys updates on it as I've read the book and stuff. So yeah, that's a fun activity for me. I'm excited for that. And then with these like kind of pages dedicated to one book and information about it, I do have like, I made it like full pages so that I have some extra room and like some brain dump pages so that I can like write things down and be like, okay, as I go through. So if I read the book again, I can be like, oh, I didn't realize this before and I need to add that in and all that jazz. It's my light blue. And then I'll kind of have a couple other pages because half of it will be dedicated to these literary pages of creating it, but the other half will kind of be dedicated to the other half will be dedicated to other teacher things that I want to put together, like vocab lists or maybe a brain dump page. So like, oh, I want to make this type of lesson, or I want to make this activity for my for a class, so I can build it there, and rubrics as well. That I can like reference. And maybe I'll put a couple assignments in it as well that I can use later. So yeah, that's what I'm doing with one of my new journaling setups and such. So that is a new journal that I'm adding to my thousands of bullet journals and such. But this journal will kind of be more of like a guide that I will use a lot in the future, hopefully. On the topic of new journals, I do, with my husband and I's anniversary, we kind of promised to get each other gifts, and then like a gift that we will share kind of as a household gift. And so, one of the gifts he got me that I helped him pick out was through the Archer and Olive sale. I got one of the 8x8 square notebooks, and I am very excited to use it. It hasn't arrived yet. I'll do another stationery haul that day it arrives. And I know I got a couple other things with it. I think I got some stickers, and I don't remember exactly what, but I know I did get a couple other things with it. So I'll do a haul when that arrives. And it'll probably arrive this week, so I probably won't do the haul until my last stream of this month, which will not be the 23rd. It will be the last week of, I think it'll be the 30th. Yeah, the 30th will be that stream, and I'll do a mini haul then as well. And I'll show that stuff off to you guys. And that 8x8 journal will be my new weekly bullet journal. I have realized that the one I'm currently using is, I think it has 2 months worth of spreads left in it. So, one, that's a good thing because I can still use it for a while, but I want to make sure that in the event it does run out sooner, I will have a journal ready to use. I want you guys, as much as I would love my bullet journal to like, after like 6 months for it to run out and then I can start a new one, or after a whole year, it just kind of flows on its own time. Sometimes I use more pages than others in a month, sometimes I don't, so I'll just let it kind of flow how it needs to, and I think it'll be okay. I don't think I'll, like, at the beginning of 22, I'll be like, here's a new journal to start my year with. I probably just will keep working in that 8x8 until it runs out. Because I don't want to waste pages. Like, I was watching books with Chloe, and I saw her, I love her stuff, I love her, or it was journaling with Chloe, it was on her journaling channel, she has a reading one as well, but I was on her journaling channel, and she was like doing end of year wrap up and stuff, and she was flipping through, and there were like a whole 20 pages she didn't use in like her reading journal or something. Like, she didn't even like build a spread on. Like, I get it if you build a spread and then you don't actually use it, like, okay, I totally get that. You had good intentions and that's totally normal and fine. But if she like just have these extra 20 pages and she doesn't use them for anything, I'm like, that's a waste of paper. How could you do that? It's horrible. So, I will judge you if you do that, by the way. I will, because you're wasting paper. But, low-key, I don't like doing that, so I don't switch my journals out halfway through the year. So you probably won't get, like, mid-year second journal setup or anything, because that's just not something I do. And any of my yearly stuff is already done in a separate journal anyway, so. I have noticed though, as I've been thinking about the end of the year and like what goals or challenges I'll be doing then, from what I've learned from this year so far. And I have a couple in there though, so I'm like pretty sure like December there's gonna be a lot of streams and content being prepared. You guys are gonna get a lot. Not like a lot, I probably won't do more streams just because that will also be the end of the semester for me, so I will be stressed. But, there'll be a lot of stuff to stream about and a lot of stuff to post about as well. So, be prepared and excited for that. This is looking really good so far, and I really like this palette. I'm very happy with it. Got this one flower down here, but that's okay. We'll get there. One thing I've noticed with these brush tip pens that I have is I can tell that they're getting a little overused, or like getting older, because the brush tip is, you guys can't see that very well, but you can kind of see it. There's just like, it's not as pointy, it's got a flatter tip, because I've used it too much, and that's okay. I'm gonna just fill this in because I want this to be purple anyway. And it kind of gets annoying, especially when I gotta do the finer details or dots. Because I'm like, okay, I gotta get this just right or else it's gonna go everywhere. That's not fun. This one has that issue too, so it's a little messier to use. Ooh, let's talk about some other books that I'm reading. So I started reading The Hollow Heart, which was also on my TBR for this month. I got it from the library, and I was like super interested in reading it. I was like, oh, this is gonna be so exciting. I was like, this sounds like a good premise, because it's about this girl who like trades her heart for knowledge and that type of thing, and like it was like that, trades her heart for knowledge, main point. And so I start reading it, and we don't really know what it meant, because she's still like, a lot of like in her first couple chapters it's following her, and she's like, well, I still love this person, so it doesn't mean that I've like lost my heart in that way, or I still have hope for this, so it doesn't mean that I lost my heart in that way. And this book has about 300 pages, and it also follows her ex-lover and stuff, and it kind of starts in the middle of things, so in medias res. There's a nice literary bonus word for you. In medias res means in the middle of things, and that's like kind of like if a book starts that way, that's what that means. So that's kind of how that book started, where it's like it's like the revolution has just begun, because the person who traded her heart for knowledge was always like this poor person, and she's trying to become rich and kind of take over, and some people have magical powers, so they're working with that as well. So it's like the poor are rising up to kill the rich and all that jazz. That's what's going on. And her lover was technically a princess from another kingdom, like another island. So that's cool. And I got 50 pages in, and I had to stop reading. I just couldn't do it because, like, it has a good premise. I liked we were in the middle of things. I had a good idea of where it could go, but it wasn't doing it. Like, I was like, okay, if you're gonna plot me in the middle of things, I should have some action. Like, they just breezed over it, like, and they used their powers and took out all the soldiers. And I'm like, great, cool, easy resolution, 10 out of 10. And it's like, I have this idea of, like, I could be reading an unreliable narrator because, she traded her heart for knowledge, so she's missing something. And, like, the thing she's missing is compassion. I'm like, okay, that's pretty good. That's a good thing. But so far, they just haven't given me much that's helpful. Like, there's a lot of information that they've left out, so I'm still confused about where we are, what's going on, and why this revolution is so important. And I'm also, like, just not feeling it. Like, the characters didn't, like, seem much. Like, the main thing with the characters, like, oh, my lover. And I'm like, okay, I'm great that you miss your lover. Sorry you ended on bad terms. But I don't need you to have a revolution and then, like, every 5 minutes, like, mid-revolution, you're like, oh, I miss the way they kissed me here. And I'm like, great, cool. What's the plot? Like, that's what I want. I came here for plot, not for any of this. And if you read books for sex, you know what? You do you. Not my business. That's your thing, but it's not mine. But this just wasn't my book. I wanted more plot than I was getting. And I wanted more information. Like, the information they give me, I was like, this isn't important, like, at all. Why are you telling me this? Or, like, cool. I'm glad you had this evil childhood stepmother. Why don't you ever resolve this issue and find her? They're like, great. I'm sorry this happened to you. Are you gonna do anything about it? No. Cool. Like, they never gave me enough context to be like, oh, I understand why this character does this, or I understand why this character hates their mom. And I just wasn't having it. So I did not finish that one. If you guys like that book, you do you. Good for you. Just wasn't my cup of tea. And then the other book I'm reading, and I posted on Instagram, is House of Leaves, which is crazy and confusing already, which is my cup of tea. I love weird books that take a while for you to make sense, and you gotta read a couple times to be like, oh, this is how it connects. Like, those moments, books that just give you moments where you're like, oh my gosh, this connects to this, where, like, things just flow together, and you're like, this is, like, weirdly perfect. Those are my favorite books. And so I started it. I haven't gone very far because most of my reading that I do, I can do it while I'm at work. One of our jobs during the night is to do laundry, and basically our boss just drops us off at another building, and we have to stay there and make sure the laundry gets moved over. So I got like 2 hours to just sit there and read. And so, but I also have to, like, help move the laundry and bring it up to that building from where I work. So that usually means I bring, like, a small book with me because I need to also carry stuff. And House of Leaves is a thick boy. It's 600 pages. On top of that, it's like, it's wide. Like, it is a pretty wide book. So, I haven't been able to bring that one to read, and I usually try to read it on the weekends if I find the time. So, I haven't been getting much into it, but I want to. I just gotta find time to sit down and binge it. I am going like on a tubing outing, and it's like an hour or two away, so I may just bring that book with me and read it on the way, not while tubing. I don't want it to get wet. And it is a library book, so I have to be extra careful. What I find interesting with this design, Archer and Olive, I do love your work, but with this design itself, is like around this letter you got some of like the remains of where the flower pattern would go. You got some right here, you got some right here, but the O and D and G have none of it, or like this K right here, nothing of it. So just a little design choice that I noticed. Kind of weird. That's all. I might be able to finish this by the end of stream. We're coming near the end of it. We'll see how that goes. I can do that. Okay. This week has been a little hectic for me. It's just been like one thing after another each day. But it also has it's been pretty good. I finished my semester this week, so I took my final test. It was a state exam, but now I'm done. I finished all the homework and stuff. Technically, the semester ends next week, but I finished everything this week, so I'm very happy about that, because I don't have to stress about it anymore. We'll get to that. Yeah, let's do this. So, I'm happy that I don't have to worry about semesters much anymore. And I can just focus on bullet journaling and some things I want to do, and then preparing for student teaching. Listen, I'll be doing a practicum in the coming semester, which is basically where I get assigned to a classroom and I just kind of help out the teacher, and they kind of get me started into what it would be like to teach. So that's what that is. Very nervous. Ooh. Something just fell. I'm sorry. I think it was one of my magnets. Yes. The Sonic magnets that I made, one of them are the chili cheese dogs, and they are a little front heavy, so I think that's probably why it fell. Startled me. But back to what I was talking about, the semester ending. I'm happy it's done. I can focus on all the things I want to do this summer, catch up on lots of reading, and that type of thing. Lots of bullet journaling. I can be very creative all summer, which I am happy about, because I do want to spend a lot of the time this summer just being creative. I probably won't change the stream schedule again. I will leave it at once a week, just because I don't want to keep switching it back and forth depending on how busy my month is. I just want to be able to guarantee that one stream a week. And if my schedule changes, it changes, and all that jazz. So yeah, every Saturday I'll stream. That's how it will be. And in the next month's streams, I do have some lovely plans for working in different journals, different bullet journals, and adding spreads there for you guys, so you guys can see the variety and experience it. And I think this summer I'll also do a lot of baking. I do have some recipes I've been wanting to try, and I just haven't yet. So I think I will be doing that for sure. And with that baking in mind, I also got some gluten-free flour, because, hi Sarah, welcome. Today we're just doing some coloring, so feel free to color with us or just vibe. But this summer I'll be doing some baking, and I got some gluten-free flour because I do have some relatives who are gluten-free, and I kind of want to test some recipes to see if I can make stuff for them that they would like. So very nervous to try that. I have my sister-in-law who's nearby, who I will be making some gluten-free goodies for. And she'll be my main taste tester, because I'll taste it, but I don't like gluten-free stuff that well. It's weird to me, so she'll be the one to do, like, actually tell me if it's good in gluten-free terms, because she's used to all the lovely types of gluten-free food. But yeah, that's what I'll be doing this summer, besides bullet journaling and reading a lot. And then maybe I'll do some crafting as well. I've had lots of desires to like just make things, and I'll probably just take any extra boxes or like that I find around the house and make stuff out of them, because I did that a lot when I was younger, and so I'll probably just continue doing it now, which my husband will have to learn that I will save many things to create sometimes pointless things. I remember when I was younger, I would collect all the boxes. I'll take the big ones and I'll turn them into cars for myself, or like little houses, or I'll take smaller boxes and I'll create doll houses out of them and stuff. How long have you been streaming in total? Like today I'm at like an hour and 30 minutes. I started streaming in general was at the beginning of June. Like that was when my first stream was. But yeah, I've been streaming today for an hour and 30 minutes. Technically an hour and 33 minutes and 35 seconds. But when I was younger, I would just kind of make things out of any boxes I would get. And so recently we ran out of paprika, and I took the little container. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna wash this and save it. And my husband's like, why is this in the sink? Can we toss it? I'm like, no, I want to use it. And he's like, for what? And I'm like, I don't know yet. And so he gets to deal with me saving random containers to use in the future. Because like it's a good little, like it's a little cute plastic container. I don't know what I'll use it for. I'll find a purpose for it. It's pretty sturdy as well, so. I've been thinking about streaming, but I'm not sure. Ooh, that's exciting. I think, if you want to stream, go for it. Like, if you're in the mood for it, as you can probably tell, I'm still relatively new to streaming. I don't have many followers, but that's okay. I'll live with that. I know it takes time. Like my Instagram, it's still taking time to grow. I don't always get a lot of likes on videos, and I'm okay with that. I think when it comes to streaming, you just gotta be okay with like accepting what you're gonna get. And when it comes to streaming, I think the hardest thing for me is just making sure I have enough to talk about while I'm streaming. I have a little whiteboard next to my stream setup that kind of has a list of things I can talk about or focus on while I'm working on stuff. You know, if you want to stream and you feel like you can do it, like you want to get into it, go ahead. Like it never hurts to try out on things you've been wanting to do. I think we definitely live in a time period where people are a whole lot more willing and there's a whole lot more accessibility to try the things you want to. There's so many different ways to learn skills, and yes, it will be easier once I get more followers and it'll be easier to get conversation going. But we do live in an age where like it's so easy to start a small business, to kind of become an influencer, to kind of put yourself out there in the world and create something, make money, find side hustles, learn things. So I think we're definitely in an age where people can just go out and do the things they want to. So I think if you really want to do it, Sarah Ann, you totally should. And if you like send me your stream information, I'll totally watch you if I can. Like I don't think it'll converse too much with my schedule depending on when you do it, but I'll support you. I do want to talk about today is my month of journaling that I've been doing for July. Because we are halfway through the month. So y'all should be on prompt 16 today because it's the 16th. And if y'all have kept up with it at all, you should have gotten a good amount of journaling in. And one thing I've noticed with it is that I've liked doing it a lot. It's been fun. And one of the reasons I like it, it's a great way to kind of debrief during the day, I found. Is like if I need kind of a place to get some thoughts down or kind of just focus on something else that isn't busy everyday life, my journal is a good place to do it. And doing these journaling prompts have been helpful because some of the prompts have been, let's focus on some things that happened in the past, or let's focus on some newer things. It's been really nice. I've enjoyed it. I have noticed that as the month has gone on, I have kind of did about like I started the page on the prompt, but then about halfway through I was like, nah, let's write about something else instead, and I'll kind of write more about my day. But the prompts have been helpful. Like if I don't know what to write about in my journal, I was like, okay, I have this prompt that I can guarantee I can write about something. So I think that's cool. Also, this just popped in my head, Sarah Ann. If you do start streaming, Twitch is like really helpful with it. Like when I started, they're like, okay, you just follow these steps and go through these things, and we can walk you through how to start streaming and set up, and we can give you the music that's playing. Usually I got that from Twitch. Like they has like, here's this free thing you can download so you have music playing during your stream, and they had everything I needed. So I will say that is one great pro of streaming on Twitch is they got everything you need, except for you gotta provide the camera and mic and stuff. But yes, I just wanted to mention that. But with going back to what I was talking about with my journaling prompts, I've really enjoyed doing them. They've been lots of fun. And I've been able to like I said earlier, it's just a great way to debrief, and it's a small way to be creative each day, because I pick out like the colors I want to use and the stickers I want to use for each of them, so that's been fun and great and amazing. I think I'm gonna finish this coloring page and then we can start on getting into the journaling prompts for the day. Because I am excited to do those. I like doing it after a stream. Sometimes I'm like, because I know I'll like do a journaling prompt at the end of each stream, and after the stream this month I've been kind of like, oh yeah, I should go journal. Oh wait, I already did that today. Because I've been really enjoying it. Just a couple more things to color in. And then we'll get to my favorite part of stream. Last little leaf, and we are done. Once again, here are these lovely colors that I used. They're all over my finger. And then here is what we did. This is an art journal coloring page. Got off their website. They have like their blog section, and I think they have one dedicated to just coloring pages, and they're free to download and stuff. So yeah, that's what we did. Okay. Let me get us set up for today's journaling session. I'm so excited for it. I love it. And all that jazz. And don't forget, it's just a reminder that next week I will not be streaming just because it is my wedding anniversary. Will be a year of being married, which is so exciting. So I am so excited for that. Let's get the journal out, and then today's colors. And a pen. Skin up things. Yeah, perfect. So, today, here we go. So today is the 16th, and today's journaling prompt is, what is your favorite outdoor activity? And the link above what I just, the prompt name I just put in the chat is the link to all the journaling prompts for the July month. So if you want to keep track of those and stuff. Here, we'll do an actual flip through of the ones I've done so far. So here, this is July 1st. So you guys can see. You guys get to see all these lovely pages before anybody else on Instagram does. Unless you're on both. I've liked all of these so far. They've been fun. I really like this one with all the greens. Okay. Now, you guys got today's prompts. These are the colors I'll be using. So I got my 2 black pens that are, both of them are dying, so I don't know which one I'll use. I got this green and gray from Daiso Japan. They're the soft marking pen and ash color highlighter. I got those in my stationery haul. I talked about them in my stationery haul, and then I'll be using these cute cat stickers, and I'll probably focus on these greenish gray ones and stuff. So, you guys know the prompt. Get your journals out, get your stationery. Feel free to journal with me in any way that you journal, and I will talk to you guys in about 10 minutes when I'm done. guys are still journaling, keep doing that. I'm just gonna kind of wrap up the stream here and talk about my journal, what I talked about. So, today I mostly talked about, first thing I talked about was how allergic I am to pollen and how outdoor activities aren't really a thing I can do as much. But when I do, I liked going boating and tubing with my cousins. I also talked about my family and I would always go on walks to the nearest gas station when I was younger, and we could each pick out a treat. And we would do that, like, I think on Monday nights usually, just like this cute family activity. And it was my favorite. Or I think I also talked about, like, outdoor festivals or activities, like farmers markets, or my one place I lived, they had First Saturday, where they would just kind of like throw a party in the downtown area that first Saturday, and you could just walk all around downtown, and all the shops would be open. You can window shop. Sometimes they'd have games, activities, bands playing, all these types of things. So I like those interactive outdoor activities, water activities, and just ones where I can just chill with my family. So that's what I journaled about for today's prompt. And that is going to bring us to the end of today's streams. I hope you guys had a good time. I did. I liked coloring and just chatting. And I always loved the end of prompts journaling. If you guys haven't already, you can follow me on Instagram and YouTube. YouTube has all the rest of my streams, and Instagram just has more bullet journaling content and some reading content as well. And then don't forget that next Saturday's stream on the 23rd is canceled because it is my wedding anniversary and I want to spend it with my husband. But the stream on the 30th will still go as planned. So I hope you guys have a good rest of your Saturday, and I will see you guys later.